if buying a condo is a bad idea, especially in the Denver, Colorado area. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about on this video today. Now, I'm Kathy Hansen, a local area realtor, and I'm also a suburban mom. And I have raised my 3 kids here in the Denver metro and the suburbs over the last 17 years. And I've also been a full-time realtor for the past 10 years, which is what makes me qualified to answer these questions for you. Now, I know we're just getting started in this video, but if you feel this video is valuable, would you do me a favor and hit that like button? It helps my channel out and it helps other people who are searching in the Denver metro area to discover my channel and discover this information. And then if you want to be notified of future videos that I post, I make them every week about what it's like living in the Denver metro area, including the suburbs. Hit that subscribe button and you'll be the first to be notified when those videos go live. Now let's get into it. Now there are many reasons why people want to buy condos. Maybe it's that they don't want any maintenance, or they want sort of a stress-free living situation, or they want to have a lock and go situation because they travel a lot. Or maybe it's the price point that gets them into home ownership, or maybe it's a second home, or maybe they're looking for a short-term or long-term rental situation. Now, buying a condo is a good idea for any of those situations. And sometimes it's the only path that people can take due to our prices here in Denver, Colorado. It's the only path that people can take to home ownership, and it's a great path to start on. Now, don't get me wrong. There are million-dollar condos in downtown Denver with some spectacular views. Or you can get million-dollar condos up in the mountains and the ski communities, or in the Denver Tech Center as well. So please don't think that they're all inexpensive. There are some things to think about when financing a condo though, whether it's a million-dollar condo or a lower priced condo. And now the first thing to think about is what type of financing are you going to get? Because condos do limit the financing options. And some condos are non-warrantable, meaning you cannot get conventional financing for condos that we consider non-warrantable. Now, what makes a condo non-warrantable? There are several things that do, such as one person or entity owning more than a certain amount of units in that complex. Typically it's 20%. So if you have one person or one entity that owns more than 20% of the condos in that complex, then typically that makes it non-warrantable. Or if the owner occupant rate is less than 50%, meaning there's more renters than there are homeowners in that complex, that could make it non-warrantable as well. Or if there are a lot of people who are in arrears on their HOA dues, that also can make a condo non-warrantable. So there are many reasons why a condo would not be warrantable and therefore not qualify for conventional financing. Now, there are some condo complexes that don't qualify for an FHA financing either. And these are just things that are good to know up front when you're out looking at condos. Does it affect, or does this complex affect your financing? Or the other way around, does your financing affect if you can buy this condo or not? And a good realtor, well, they're gonna know this information up front. They're gonna do the research prior to you even getting out and looking at these properties. Now, the next thing to be aware of are the HOA fees, the homeowners association fees. And very typical that HOA fees on condos can run in the $400 and $500 per month range in the Denver metro area. Now, there are lots of them that are in the $300 a month as well. However, if you're paying that much for a homeowners association, you want to make sure you're getting something for your money, like exterior maintenance, like sewer, like water, cable, or internet. You want to see if there's amenities like a pool or workout facilities. And you also want to look closely at the HOA's finances during your contract period. Now, why is this important to you? Well, if you're paying that high of an HOA and the HOA does not have a good financial standing or a good financial situation, if there were a major problem, such as a big hailstorm and the roofs need to be replaced, or the outside balconies, there's an issue with them and those need to be replaced. If the HOA doesn't have the money to pay for that, well, then they pass that along to the homeowner in what we call a special assessment. And what they do is they take the price of the project and they divide it equally amongst all homeowners. So you could be looking at thousands of dollars in a special assessment if the HOA is not financially stable. Now, during the contract period, you're going to have a chance to review all of the HOA documents, including their finances, and decide for yourself, is this something that I think is worthy? Is this something that I think they're financially stable and that I could live with? If you can't live with it, then you can back out of the contract, get your earnest money back, as long as you're meeting your dates and deadlines within the contract. And the other thing to note when out looking at condos is, one, the age of the building, and two, is the complex well maintained? Because obviously an older complex that isn't well maintained, well, big complexes have big problems. And those big problems, if they're not financially solvent, those big problems become big bills to the homeowners. And many times there's usually a reason why the building hasn't been maintained, and it's usually financial. So there are some things you can do to protect yourself. I don't mean to scare you away from buying a condo, but there are some things you can do to protect yourself from these special assessments. Now, not every complex has special assessments. We're talking worst case scenario, but you do need to be aware of this and the possibility of these special assessments. There is an insurance policy or an insurance rider that you can get. Now, I don't know the official name of it through the insurance companies, but you can ask your insurance provider about it. There is a policy that covers you for special assessments. So you pay your insurance premiums. If a special assessment comes down, that insurance policy covers that special assessment for you. And I've had several clients who have had this insurance policy and their special assessments were paid in full. So it's a good thing to look into if you're looking at getting a condo or even a townhome. It is just something to think about. The last thing to note about condos is parking. Is there adequate parking? Is it a first come, first serve basis? Is it on a reserved spot per unit basis? Is there an underground locked parking garage for homeowners? And what about your visitors? Are there additional assigned visitor parking spots per each unit? How does parking work? Now, even if you're a single owner in a condo and you have one designated parking space, and so you're like, hey, I don't gotta worry about it because I don't really have a lot of visitors, it's something to note for future. When you go to sell the house, is that going to affect your resale? So you just wanna figure out, what does the parking situation look like? Are there adequate parking spots for homeowners and visitors? And are there designated parking spots, or is it first come, first serve? Now, as I said earlier, I think condos are a great starter home into getting into home ownership here in the Denver metro area. And I help many people buy condos. I help investors buy them for short-term and long-term rentals, and I help first-time home buyers get into condos as well. And I definitely feel that condos have their place in the real estate world. So no matter what your reason is for wanting to purchase a condo, just make sure you check out these things that we discussed on this video, because I want you to make a really good investment. And I would love to help you with that investment, whether it's a downtown Denver condo or a condo in the suburbs of the Denver metro area. I can help you with either of those. All of my contact information is below in the details section and the comment section. So if I can be a resource to you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I do answer the phone calls, texts, and emails personally. Now, I have been a realtor for 10 years in the Denver metro area, and I'm a full-time realtor, and I would love nothing more than to help you make Denver your next home. And then finally, if you can do me a favor, hit that like button if this information was valuable to you, and hit that subscribe button if you want to be notified of my future videos. I do a video every week about what it's like living in the Denver metro area, including the suburbs. And every other week, I do a new home property tour. So if you want to be notified of those, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And until next time, get out there and make today a great one.